Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of Word of the Day. What is today? Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. I hope you are having a great Academy Tuesday. Too cheesy. Anyways, it's good to be talking to you today. I wanted to discuss today something, really practical. I mean, my hope is that these Word of the Day sessions can be very practical to help you, get work. And I think today I want to talk about, the getting more work through smarter work, not harder work. Meaning we're going to talk about just auditioning really quickly, from auditioning on ACX to Voices to Voice 123 to Voice Realm to anywhere. Even when people contact you for samples, I've been noticing that more people are contacting me through Fiverr. Even more and more studios are starting to contact me through Fiverr, wanting samples, etc. And you know that they are studios, especially because when they ask you not to slate them, or they ask you that they don't want the Fiverr brand on them, what they're trying to do is, I guess for lack of a better term, pawn you off as their pool of voice actors. So, it is what it is. But anyways, what I want to talk to you about today is working smarter, not harder. And what I mean by that is when I got this really interesting question that got me thinking about this and some of the things I do. And the question was, and I'm going to do a YouTube video on it today, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit more in depth on it. But the question is, how do I compete, against people who are voice actors who have been in the industry, 10, 15, 20 years, or that are experienced, have lots of clout, are able to do, or have more connections than I do. How do I compete against that? Well, by using these techniques I just want to talk to you about today, you can really put up a good fight. So the first one is be fast. Okay. I think that, so many of us, and I fell into this as well. I would get, or I'm at like a place where it's kind of like, I've been here over the last year and a half. Occasionally, I'm like, I got too much work. I don't need to mess with that. Or, I deliver at 3 to 5 days, or I can extend it. You know what I mean? Like you get this, especially when you're busy, you get this thing of, I don't have to keep up the grind, right? And a lot of people fall into that. And what happens is that unknowingly, right, it turns off a lot of customers, potential customers. And it's an open door for the rest of us. Okay. So what I mean by that is that push the limit of how fast you can do little things, like how fast you can respond, how quick you can get samples and auditions done, how fast you can deliver work. I've heard in the past too, and this has gone back and forth on Fiverr sometimes, where, it's good to not do all of your stuff really quickly, Don't listen to that. Do everything as fast as you can. So remember, the big top 3 things that people are looking for online when they're buying is they're looking for, are you easy to work with? Do you communicate really well? And are you delivering a high quality product? Okay. So, if you put those, post those things somewhere, right? And everything you do, okay, revolves around that, you're going to beat people out for jobs and work. And not even because you're better acting than them, but just because you're harder, you're working harder, but you're working smarter, and you're making the customer experience 10 times better than they are. All right, nothing's worse than working with someone who feels entitled, right? That you're bugging them almost for getting, for coming to them for work. We've all known those people, right? I feel like that sometimes when I go through certain drive-throughs to get food, I feel like I'm bugging them to get my food, right? You know what I'm talking about? So, so that's important. Be fast. Now, when it comes to auditions, going on the same vein, be quick when you audition. If an audition pops up, be quick. do it as fast as you can. The faster you get that audition in, the faster someone sees you or they'll listen to you, right? The quicker. That's why, like, when we talk about Upwork, I'm always like, make sure that you're not going after jobs that are 10, 15, 20 applicants in already, proposals in already. Do the ones that are 0 to 5 or 5 to 10 max, because you want to get in first. Because after that, honestly, after being a casting director myself for a long time, when I was acting and hiring for other theaters, everything after 10, 15, 20, you're talking everything begins to kind of sound the same. Right? Like, it's very difficult to separate. So those first couple, right, really are the ones that, most people will stop listening after the first couple anyways. Okay. So be quick. Now, if you are someone who is working a full-time job and, you can't be there when jobs pop up during the day, because that was when I was working a full-time job. That's what happened to me. The key then for you to do is to make sure that you are attacking areas that are easier for you to get work in. Like, for example, I talked about ACX yesterday in a video. It's so important to look at the places where you can do the best work for you and your schedule, and not lament over the places right now that are not going to work for you. I realized when I was first starting and I was working my full-time job that I could only work really between 10 p.m. and 2 to 3 a.m. each night to morning, right? And then on weekends I could work. But, during the day when a lot of business, is conducted, and honestly, you get a lot of work if you're full-time, I couldn't do that. So I pushed that aside and focused on the things that I could do. You know what I mean? And again, not lament over the things that I couldn't do at that time, because you will build yourself up. Now, there will come a point where they begin to mesh, and there's going to be a point in there where it's going to be so chaotic that you'll know when it's time to leave your job. Okay? Because you realize that you're losing money working at your job than you are, than you could be, because you're just losing too much voiceover work. But that comes, that when that happens, it. So, but I hope that this video has kind of helped you about working smarter. Those three things, right? Being, answering, putting up auditions as fast as possible. All right. Top, professional, top quality work, but we're all working on that all the time anyway. So that's expected. And then really super easy to work with, great communication. Okay. These things are paramount that so many people don't do, even in any business these days. Just with me doing my house and everything, how hard it is to get a hold of some people, like they don't pick up their phones. They don't return phone calls. I've been guilty about this over the time. It doesn't mean that we're not busy or they're not busy, but the point I'm trying to make is that I'm often more willing to work with someone who will just pick up their phone and talk to me, or will communicate with me in a timely manner that makes me feel like, they want to work with me. Right. So anyways, I hope this video today, the word of the day, has helped you. Right. So just remember these three things. And the overarching idea today is work smarter, not harder. And the three main things you always got to keep in mind are: one, when people are looking for great communication. Two, people are looking for people who are easy to work with, meaning like, don't be combative, be kind, be excited that they're interested in working with you. And three, deliver a high quality product every single time. All right. If you do those things, it doesn't matter how many professionals you're going up against, you will always set yourself apart. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow, and enjoy the classes today. We've got Kat at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we've got Dawn at 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, you guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.